Burrow has won the 2019 Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award, which is given to the nation's top quarterback who best exemplifies character, scholastic, and athletic achievement. Burrow is the first LSU quarterback to win that award. Kirk Herbstreit was on Inside the SEC talking about the matchup this weekend for an SEC championship.
Well, let's be honest. When we all saw this matchup, and I'm not a big point spread guy, but I was curious because those guys are so good what the point spread would be, and I saw 7. How many of us went, really? Mm-hmm. Wow. You know, and that tells you that there's a lot of respect for Georgia, and the people that know a lot about this give Georgia a very good chance.
Yeah, I would agree with Kirk because, like, when I look at the game, I actually love this game for LSU from a matchup standpoint. We've talked about it all week. We continue to break it down. But I think LSU has a chance of winning big. So it always kind of makes you wonder, right? Like in the back of your head, like what is Vegas seeing that maybe other people aren't? What are they accounting for? Is Georgia are they that good on the line? Am I underrating their offensive line potentially? Am I overrating LSU's defense's ability to stop them running ball? I don't know. But we will find out here pretty soon. A little ironic, Jordan, that the Burrow gets the Unitas Award, which includes scholastic achievement a week after the post game where he's like, I mean, I've never really been to class, so like I wanted to see those guys once.
Go to campus.
Yeah, and before anybody freaks out, he takes online courses. Okay, so like everybody relax. He's graduating with a master's actually. So you know what? I take it back. That is scholastic achievement.
Herbstreit more on Inside the SEC talking about what the Bulldogs have to do to keep it close.
I think Georgia's only chance is they got to get a short field. I don't see them consistently driving the ball without big playability in the vertical pass game and being able to score a lot of points. They need turnovers. They need to give Jake Fromm that short field. But remember, Jake Fromm's played in a lot of these big games. So you got a great defense, a veteran quarterback. That always gives you a chance in these championship kind of weekends.
Herbie's exactly right. Brody Miller told you about it yesterday and on the Hold That podcast. LSU's defense, Jordy, down to down, is actually very good. Where they struggle are in explosive plays. And I do not know that UGA, actually I do not believe that they are set up to take advantage of that weakness.
LSU basketball head coach Will Wade hosts his December Tip-off Luncheon presented by UPS today at L'Auberge Casino and Hotel. Next up for the Tigers is Northwestern State this Sunday, tip-off 3 o'clock inside the Maravich Center. Cam Jordan was named NSC Defensive Player of the Week for his 4-sack performance last Thursday night on Thanksgiving versus the Atlanta Falcons. The 4 sacks gives him 13.5 for the season. He's only 1 behind the league leader with 14.5. I believe that's the defensive end from Tampa Bay who has 14.5. The Saints released tight end Dan Arnold to make room for a newly signed linebacker Manti Te'o on Wednesday. They also decided to keep wide receiver Keith Kirkwood on IR for the remainder of the season instead of adding him to the active roster. Saints are back on the field Sunday versus the 49ers, a big one, as Drew Brees was talking about this 49ers defense coming into the Dome on Sunday.
First off, they have really good players. So across the board, and there's no weak links. They're all very, very good players, very talented, big, strong, physical, very well coached, just very sound in everything that they do. So, I mean, the statistics reflect it, the numbers reflect it, the wins reflect it. They're a stout group.
Cam Jordan's behind Shaquille Barrett of Tampa Bay. Barrett has 14.5 sacks on the season, while Jordan has 13.5. Sean Payton was on his weekly conference call yesterday. Saints have been penalized a lot over the last 2 weeks. Here he is talking about how they have addressed the penalties.
I think the key is taking into consideration the film that you're watching, who the culprits are. Is it repeated behavior? Can we correct it? Or is it something that was a one-time deal? So a lot of it is dependent on the specific fouls.
Booger was talking about this 49ers defensive line on Wednesday. If you missed that conversation, you can catch it online, brought to you by Carriages of Baton Rouge. Here's Sean Payton talking about the second overall pick, Nick Bosa, out of Ohio State.
Look, you're seeing a great combination of athleticism, strength, and speed. That combination to edge you, that combination to go speed to power. It's not just one part of his game. He's a handful. He's having a fantastic season.
Yeah, so Bosa going to be your Rookie of the Year, 8 sacks in 12 games. It's a couple forced fumbles. He's a pick in there. You know what's crazy? Did you see the Jimmy Burrow tweet about Bosa?
Yeah, the best friends.
So they're best friends.
Sports Illustrated.
Burrow was at the draft last year when Bosa goes number 2 overall. Then this season, they graced Sports Illustrated's cover back-to-back weeks. And I don't know, you think Bosa shows up and watches Joe gets picked first overall this year? Maybe second, whenever he goes. So. It's just, what a friendship.
One more from Peyton. Ron Rivera was fired in Carolina yesterday. Here was Peyton's thoughts.
Yeah, I've got, so much respect for Ron and the work he's done there. I consider him a close friend. You know, he's been in the division for 8-9 years, and I think unfortunately, that's the business we're in. And but his reputation in our league speaks for itself, and so he's going to have other opportunities. And I think that, look, you have a new owner who's making his calls and doing what he needs to do, and hey, we'll see where he goes. But I'm a big fan, obviously, and a good friend.
Saints take on the 49ers this Sunday in the Dome. Noon start. You can catch the pregame at 10 o'clock on Eagle 98.1. New Orleans Pelicans return to the court tonight against the Suns. Phoenix Suns are in town after taking on LeBron last night in the Lakers. Anybody see LeBron get away with this walk? Last night I got the video here. I'll pull it up.
Dribbling is just like a suggestion for LeBron.
He takes 3 steps after he crosses midcourt. Whoever's guarding from Utah looks at the referee like,
what are we doing here?
Lord, what does he have to do?
And it's immediately followed by a foul on them, on the Suns.
Hey, the king.
It's wild.
The king, man. Back off. That ref literally averted his eyes. He was like, "No, Joe."
He's looking right at him.
He's like, "I ain't calling that, dude."
He's like staring right at him.
Relax.